Jiandao Chenxin acknowledged that his soul power level was superior to poison Douluo's, confirming Ye Feng's inquiry. Eager to visit Sunset Forest, Ye Feng expressed his interest in the rare medicinal herbs there, believed to be in poison Douluo's territory. He argued these herbs could enhance a soul master's abilities, an argument based on his knowledge as a time traveler. Recognizing the potential benefits, Ye Feng sought permission to explore the area once he acquired his third soul ring. Jiandao Chenxin, although wary of over-reliance on external aids, agreed to investigate further, acknowledging Ye Feng's ambition. After 5 days, Ye Feng secured his third soul ring and returned to Notting City with Jiandao Chenxin, who then departed for the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile Sect. Back at Notting College, Ye Feng was confronted with turmoil. Tang San, discussing with Master Yu Xiaogang, faced a moral quandary, watching part-time students like Xiao Wu being expelled. Upon meeting Ye Feng, Xiao Wu explained their predicament, attributing their expulsion to an incident involving debts collected from senior students like Xiao Chenyu. Ye Feng discovered that the IOUs given to his friends were a catalyst for the conflict. Xiao Wu had defeated Xiao Chenyu in a clash, leading to Xiao Chenyu's father, leveraging his influence to expel the students. Tang San, due to his teacher's connections, avoided expulsion, creating tension among the students. The atmosphere was tense as Ye Feng processed this betrayal and learned that Wang Sheng felt resentful towards Tang San, who faced only a probationary punishment. Thanks to Yu Xiaogang's intervention, their conversation was interrupted by a commanding voice, demanding to confront the students responsible for the conflict. Ye Feng turned to see a middle-aged man in brocade clothes approaching, flanked by 6 guards and Xiao Chenyu, whom Ye Feng had defeated earlier. The man, appearing in his 30s or 40s, challenged Ye Feng for breaking his son's rib. Xiao Chenyu, anxious, clarified that it wasn't his idea to have Ye Feng expelled from school. The man, Xiao, declared his intent to retaliate. If I don't act after my son is beaten, am I still Xiao, the richest man in Notting City? He retorted, as soul rings materialized around him, projecting a wolf-shaped aura. Despite the dormitory teacher's attempt to intervene, fearing Xiao's influence, the man remained undeterred, insisting on justice for his son. As Xiao attacked with his wolf claw, Ye Feng dodged effortlessly, revealing 3 soul rings, 2 yellow, 1 purple, leaving the crowd astounded. Yu Xiaogang, recognizing Ye Feng's 9-heart begonia martial soul, corrected misconceptions about its power and speculated on Ye Feng's true innate soul power. As the murmurs continued, the arrival of the esteemed Ning Fengji brought a pause. Xiao, awed, approached him respectfully, momentarily abandoning his aggression towards Ye Feng. The crowd, including the academy's dean, watched the scene unfold, understanding the weight of Ning Fengji's unexpected presence at the academy. Ning Fengji strolled through the corridors, his demeanor calm and confident. Xiao, who seemed displeased, pointed an accusing finger at a young boy. "This kid broke one of my son's ribs," he explained. The dean of Notting College interrupted, chastising Xiao for his aggressive behavior. But Xiao insisted the students in question were no longer under the college's protection. Wang Sheng, one of the expelled students, identified the vice dean as the person responsible for their expulsion. The dean turned a sharp eye on the vice dean, Qian Ming, scolding him for such a decision made without consultation. Meanwhile, Ye Feng, the young boy accused by Xiao, stood firm. "You wanted to teach me a lesson, didn't you?" Despite Xiao's fierce gaze, the presence of Ning Fengji tempered his actions. Yet Ye Feng was undeterred, his eyes fierce. "You disrespected me first," he stated, activating his first soul skill, beast blood boiling. A yellow light enveloped him, boosting his strength and vigor. Immediately following, his second soul skill, freeze, trapped Xiao Xiao in ice. Spectators marveled at Yi Feng's prowess as his fist shattered the ice, sending Xiao Xiao flying. Is he really just a child? Soul power level 34. Such talent, squandered by short-sightedness, could have elevated the college's reputation. Ye Feng approached Xiao Xiao again, determined. You wanted to break my ribs. Now it's your turn. Xiao Xiao retaliated with wolf howl, but Ye Feng remained unfazed. Using ice freeze once more to subdue him, as Xiao Xiao struggled to evade. Ye Feng activated his third soul skill, water essence, slowing Xiao Xiao's movements. A final punch connected with Xiao Xiao's chest, the sound of breaking bones echoing in the silent courtyard. Despite his pain, Xiao Xiao stood, vowing revenge. Ye Feng responded confidently, unfazed by the threat. The atmosphere shifted as Ning Fengji approached. I just came by, he said, ruffling Ye Feng's hair affectionately. Xiao Xiao's realization dawned as he understood the depth of Ye Feng's connections. Tang San, observing from a distance, queried his teacher about the mysterious Uncle Jen, whose power seemed unmatched. The vice president of Noctin City Junior Soul Master Academy was caught off guard upon learning that Ye Feng had connections with sect master at Ning Fengji. He anxiously sought the dean's intervention, hoping to mend the situation. The dean revealed that Ye Feng's teacher was the infamous Jian Dao. Chen Xin, a name that struck fear into the vice president's heart due to his reputation in the Soul Master world. Ning Fengji, having learned of the events, decided to sever all ties with Xiao Xiao, who had wronged Ye Feng. Despite Xiao Xiao's desperate pleas and offers of servitude, Ning remained firm, foreseeing Xiao Xiao's impending financial ruin. Ye Feng, unmoved by Xiao Xiao's cries for mercy, deflected the blame onto Ning, showing his resolve. The vice president, trying to amend his mistake, attempted to reinstate Ye Feng and the other expelled students. Ye Feng rebuked him, highlighting the injustice they suffered. Ye Feng finally agreed to stay, understanding the importance of education for his friends. Like Wang Sheng and Xiao Wu, Ning Fengji expressed curiosity about Jian Dao Chenxin's absence, and after some conversation, departed, leaving Ye Feng to his own path. Ye Feng, accompanied by Xiao Wu, headed to the Wuhan Hall to obtain the Soul Master Advancement Certificate, leaving behind a disgraced vice president. The vice president, although relieved, knew that Ning Fengji had spared him, yet the dean cautioned him about the wrath of Jian Dao Chenshin, advising him to seek forgiveness directly from the Seven Treasures glazed tile sect, as it might be his only chance to save himself. On the Douluo continent, Wuhun Palace branches were omnipresent, whether in bustling cities or remote villages. Ye Feng and Xiao Wu arrived at Notting City's branch, a domed building with 3 floors and a distinctive sword logo. Stopped by a guard, Ye Feng smiled and explained their purpose. After confirmation, they were directed to the reception area to meet Master Matthew Nuo, who handled martial soul evaluations. Inside, the vast hall impressed Xiao Wu. Do you like big things? Ye Feng teased. Of course, she replied, catching a hint of mischief in his tone. Their banter was interrupted by Su Yuntao's familiar voice. Yu Feng, you're here for an evaluation too? He inquired. He introduced them to Matthew Nuo, who seemed skeptical about Ye Feng's advanced appraisal. After a brief exchange, Su Yuntao left, leaving Matthew Nuo to proceed with the evaluation. Xiao Wu was first. She released her soul power into a crystal ball, surprising Matthew Nuo with her level 12 power. When asked about her soul ring, she mentioned it came from a silky bone rabbit. Ye Feng then revealed his martial soul. With its 3 distinct rings, shocking Matthew Nuo with his level 34 power. Matthew Nuo questioned the unusual combination of a plant-based martial soul with animal-based soul rings. Ye Feng explained that his teacher had found records of such occurrences in ancient books. Tang San, witnessing this revelation, was left speechless, realizing that his teacher's theories were possibly borrowed from forgotten texts. Matthew Nuo looked at Ye Feng with surprise. "Who is your teacher?" he inquired. "Everyone calls him Kendo Chenshin," Ye Feng replied, confirming it with a nod. Matthew Nuo's expression shifted dramatically. "Sword Dao Tenzin, the guardian Douluo of the 7 Treasures Glaze sect? I didn't expect you to become a disciple of a titled Douluo. I suppose you're not interested in joining the Spirit Hall anymore." Ye Feng shook his head. "My teacher didn't ask me to join the 7 Treasures Glazed sect. He said my future is mine to decide. I'm content at not in college for now." Matthew Nuo nodded, acknowledging Ye Feng's autonomy. "And you, Xiao Wu?" he asked the girl next to Ye Feng. "Wherever Ye Feng goes, I will go," she declared with childlike certainty. Matthew Nuo sighed, seeing the innocence in her answer, and turned to Tang San. "What about you?" "I'm already studying at Notting College." Tang San politely declined the invitation to the Spirit Hall. Matthew Nuo sighed again, blaming Su Yun Tao for not bringing them to Wuhun Hall. "Your advanced evaluation is over," he announced. "Come to the Wuhan Hall monthly to receive your allowance." Ye Feng's allowance was notably higher due to his status. As they left Wuhan Hall, Xiao Wu pulled Ye Feng away from Tang San, clearly irritated. "Do you dislike Tang San?" Ye Feng asked. "Who would like him?" Xiao Wu retorted. "He's timid and selfish. Besides, now that we receive a Soul Master allowance, I don't have to be a work-study student." Ye Feng smiled. "You might not need to be, but I will continue as one," he said. "Why?" Xiao Wu questioned, surprised by his decision. Ye Feng explained that his teacher emphasized the importance of cultivating one's character and humility, something that being a working student could teach. "I'll join you then," Xiao Wu decided, rolling her eyes but smiling. Later, after collecting their allowances, they went to a restaurant and then walked by an artificial lake in Notting City. "Ye Feng, thank you," Xiao Wu said seriously, breaking the silence. Ye Feng was puzzled. "Thank me for what?" "For always staying with me," she said gratefully. Ye Feng touched her ears playfully, and she didn't resist. "We are both orphans," Xiao Wu continued. "I've always wanted a family. Why don't I become your sister?" Ye Feng was surprised. "A sister?" he echoed, noting the deviation from the original storyline where Xiao Wu became Tang San's relative. "Yes," she insisted. "I'm the elder sister." Ye Feng chuckled, arguing that in terms of human age and hierarchy, he should be the older sibling. "It's about responsibility. If I'm the elder brother, I will protect my sister." "Will you always protect me?" she asked softly. "Of course," Ye Feng assured her. "Even if many want to harm you, they'd have to get through me first." "Are you worried about your identity as a soul beast?" "How do you know?" she whispered. "All right, I'll be your sister, not your pet rabbit." Peace reigned for a month before Sword Douluo, known as Kendo Chenshin, returned to Notting College. Concerned about rumors that someone had harmed his disciple, Ye Feng. The bully, Xiao Xiao, met a harsh fate with broken limbs. Only a plea from Notting College's vice president to the Qibao Glazed sect saved him from worse consequences. Sword Douluo's visit was timely, having discovered Dugubo's medicinal garden within the Sunset Forest. Ye Feng, a prodigious soul master at 6, was a jewel of Notting College. As they ventured into the Sunset Forest, Sword Douluo's presence kept the soul beasts at bay. Soon, they reached a hill veiled in poisonous mist. Perched on Sword Douluo's 7-killing sword, they observed the strange dual-colored hot spring below, distinct like a Tai Chi symbol. Xiao Wu was curious about the hot spring, but Sword Douluo warned her of its poison. Feng identified it as the Eye of Ice and Fire, citing a story from a beggar for his knowledge. Sword Dalu was curious, but did not press further. Feng explored the area, recognizing valuable herbs, including the kilo tulip and the star anise icegrass. He carefully approached the fiery red fire apricot jiaoshu. Sword Douluo, concerned for Feng's safety, questioned his intentions. Feng recounted the beggar's advice to use the herbs together under the influence of the Eye of Ice and Fire, to gain immunity to fire and ice. Skeptical, Sword Douluo pressed Feng for the beggar's identity, who claimed to be Tangjia San Shao. Despite Feng's insistence on trying the herbs, Sword Douluo warned him of the deadly risks involved. Feng's resolve was unyielding as he pleaded with Jian Dao Chenxin for a chance to test his mettle. Despite his master's firm warnings about the potential dangers, Feng insisted that enduring trials was the path to rebirth and strength. Reluctantly, Jian Dao Chenxin agreed to capture a soul beast to the Feng's experiment. He soon returned with a 10-year-old rabbit, the chosen subject for Feng's unorthodox method. Feng requested Jian Dao Chenxin's assistance in obtaining the star aniseed icegrass and fiery apricot jiaoshu. Together, these herbs neutralized each other's extreme properties, allowing for safe handling. With calculated precision, Feng fed the rabbit the leaves of both plants. Feng then threw it into the highly toxic ice and fire yin-yang eye. This left Jian Dao Chenxin questioning the mysterious nature of Tangjia San Shao, the source of Feng's knowledge. Satisfied with the results, Feng turned to Xiao Wu, eager to begin their own transformation. She agreed to join him in the process. With determination, Feng ingested the herbs. The contrasting forces within him triggered a powerful reaction. Alternating between freezing cold and searing heat, unperturbed, Feng shed his clothing and plunged into the yin-yang eye's waters. Jian Dao Chenxin reassured Xiao Wu that the decision to transform lay solely with her. Observing Feng's perseverance, Xiao Wu resolved to undergo the process herself. Overcoming her apprehension, she joined Feng in the spring, hopeful for the enhancement of her soul ring. Together, Feng and Xiao Wu embarked on this transformative journey. Feng and Xiao Wu engaged in an intense training regimen, periodically swallowing star anise icegrass and fiery apricot leaves, then immersing themselves in the ice and fire springs to test their endurance. Feng, accustomed to nudity among men like Dao Chenxin, remained unfazed. In contrast, Xiao Wu, with her ancient spirit and feminine consciousness, felt shy. Despite Chenxin turning his back, Feng struggled with feelings he deemed inappropriate towards Xiao Wu, who appeared as a child. He managed to suppress his emotions, dressed, and approached Dao Chenxin, offering to stand guard, while Chenxin took his turn. However, Chenxin, already a titled Douluo with 9 soul rings, declined, citing minimal benefit from such practices at his level. Suddenly, a voice challenged their presence in the garden. Recognizing it as Douluo Dalu's, Chenxin remained calm as the green-haired figure confronted them. Douluo Dalu, an intimidating presence with eyes like emeralds, accused them of stealing his precious herbs. Chenxin asserted the herbs were unowned, claiming the empire's dominion over the forest. Douluo Dalu protested, emphasizing his decades of care for the garden. Chenxin, undeterred, questioned whether Douluo Dalu wished to fight over the consumed herbs. Douluo Dalu hesitated, wary of Chenxin's prowess. Ye Feng apologized for consuming the herbs, promising compensation. Skeptical, Douluo dismissed the offer and urged them to leave. Ye Feng, sensing Douluo's ailment, gently suggested he suffered from poison-related symptoms. Douluo denied this, fearing exposure for his condition. Ye Feng persisted, describing specific symptoms, which shook Douluo. Realizing Ye Feng's insight, Douluo resolved to fight to keep his vulnerability secret. Ye Feng noticed Douluo's suspicion and calmly reassured him, promising a gift in exchange for consuming 2 of his fairy grasses. Douluo was intrigued and asked if Ye Feng could detoxify him. When Ye Feng denied, Douluo grew irate. Sword Dao Chen Xin, Ye Feng's master, was ready to confront Douluo. A title Douluo, but Ye Feng intervened to prevent a battle. Ye Feng explained that removing Douluo's poison would be akin to taking his life, prompting Douluo to reconsider. Ye Feng offered 2 solutions: consume 2 specific fairy grasses to neutralize the poison, albeit at the cost of losing his poison attack, or store the poison within soul bones. Or a weapon soul, maintaining his power. Enlightened, Douluo opted for the latter method. Curiously, Douluo inquired if the advice came from Ye Feng's master. Ye Feng revealed it was from a mysterious figure known as the 3rd young master of the Tang family. Douluo, intrigued by this beggar's wisdom, felt indebted to Ye Feng and offered more rewards beyond the grasses. Ye Feng, eyeing the medicinal garden, asked to pick herbs. Douluo agreed, only to regret it, as Ye Feng chose over a dozen valuable herbs, leaving little behind. Ye Feng suggested to Douluo that consuming the remaining grasses would grant him and his granddaughter Yan immunity to ice and fire. Douluo's interest piqued, especially for his granddaughter's potential. Just then, Xiao Wu's voice interrupted, reminding Ye Feng of her presence, which caught Douluo off guard as he recognized her as a soul beast. As events unfolded, a system voice congratulated Ye Feng for altering the storyline and rewarded him with attribute points,